What's going on, man?
And we are live in the Roofing on the Rise studio, where we bring you the innovations of the roofing marketplace and the people that bring it to you. Today and every day, we are sponsored by Roofing Supply Incorporated here in the Houston marketplace, where you can get your shingles from me. 210-919-8987. Again, 210-919-8987. We are also sponsored by West Group Public Adjusters, where you can get an awesome hand-tailored experience for your insurance claims. Telephone number, again, also is 210-919-8987. Today, we have an amazing guest. We got TJ McCormick. What's up, TJ?
Hey, good morning, man. It's too early in the damn morning.
Tell you what, bro. It's been nice to get some more sleep today, huh?
Yeah, no, man. I tell people like I get my best sleep, I feel like from like 5 o'clock in the morning until like 10 o'clock in the morning because, with being sick over the past year, sleeping isn't something I get a lot of. But no, I was excited to jump on with you today.
Man,
So,
I appreciate you coming on too. Just being able to watch everything that's going on.
yeah.
You started driving again.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Anytime I go somewhere, and I travel all over the country, and I never take a rental car, or I never drive myself. I always just rent an Uber or Lyft or something, or if I'm at home, Karina would drive me around. And yesterday was the day, and it'd been over a year since I've driven, and I went out and I was like, I'm going to drive today. So
it's like
it's a
riding a
lot of
bike
fun.
or what?
Yeah, just like riding a bike. I was a cop for most of my adult life in my earlier years, so I drove over 1 million miles, and something just happened over a year ago where I was like, I don't want to drive anymore. So here we are. So
Hey, I feel that.
yeah.
You think maybe that was some of the anxiety that you were dealing with?
I feel like I've been dealing with the anxiety for about that length of time. I started having anxiety symptoms right after Hurricane Ian last year, but I really wasn't recognizing that that's what it was
Yeah.
until like when I really got sick this past couple of months ago, and it really, looking back, I could have caught it then, but it creeped up on me pretty quickly. So, and then once it got a hold of me, I had to figure out what was going on. So,
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel for you in that respect, and
yeah,
everyone processes things differently, and everybody's body is different. It was definitely an encouraging thing to see how you handled those adversities, and man, you just kept pressing on, and you still are.
yeah,
So just for me, I mean, I look up to you quite a bit,
yeah,
and I see that, like, because motivation's a big thing for me,
yeah,
and consistency is really big for me.
right,
So to see that, you could have wallowed in like self pity and
yeah,
poor me, and
yeah,
that didn't happen. And I'm not like sitting here. For those of you watching, like, not just sitting here trying to stroke, an ego. I'm really, really impressed with how you handled that.
yeah.
I don't think that everyone could say that they could have handled that in that type of situation.
I really appreciate those kind words, and I've had quite a few people reach out to me, even like coming up to me at events. Like I was sitting in my hotel. I won't say where I was, but I was sitting in a hotel, and I was at an event, and I just sat down next to somebody that I didn't even know. He knew who I was. I didn't know who he was, and he's like, "Hey, TJ. I never thought I'd be sitting next to you, but I want to let you know that you just talking about the situations that you were going through has really helped me." And he's like, it really touched me as to I also have issues, and I never felt like I could express them. And that seems to be what a lot of people have come to me with and said, TJ, we don't really feel like we can talk about this out loud because, let's just face it, as men, and manly men that
Right.
we are, and alpha males, it feels like sometimes it's a burden, or people don't want to hear that you're wallowing, like you said, in self-pity.
Right.
But really, we need to talk about it more out loud,
Yeah.
because we're allowed to talk about alcoholics and drug addicts. Why
Right.
can't we talk about the thing that kills most of us in this world, which is depression and anxiety and
Yeah.
panic, and all of the things that at least one person in your family is going through, or is
Yeah.
medicated for. And I don't mean medicated as a bad thing, but to help us, sometimes we need something to get along. I never thought that I'd quit fucking smoking weed after 10 years. Like, I love smoking weed. And I didn't think that cannabis
Yeah.
would be my issue. You and I have, I'm not going to put our stuff out there, but that about me, right? I loved my cannabis, and I haven't had any in about
Yeah.
90 days now. And there are people out there that say that I'm different now. When they come around me or they hang out with me, they say that I'm more present, that I'm actually working harder than what I've ever worked in my life, and like I'm able to have conversations like we're having now without
That's good.
having to worry about it. But sometimes we need a change in our life, but sometimes we need to admit that we have a problem, and allow other people to see how we handle that.
I agree. Yeah, I've struggled with anxiety and depression for quite some
Yeah.
time, and my wife is probably watching this, and I feel our families they suffer the most in
Yeah.
this, and um, too often people look at what some of us that are online a lot and live an online life, they look a little into that, and they don't like look past it,
Yeah.
and you know our families, when we come home and we're dealing with these things, especially whenever we're getting into medication from the doctors.
Yeah.
Uh, big shout out to my wife, Sarah. Uh, Honey, I love you, and I I can feel for you and what you've had to go through for the past few years, past 10 years. Um, when I first got on medication, man, for I'd say the first 60 to 90 days, uh, I went into like this zombie mode. Like there was no way to get out of it. The first 30 days is horrible, and
Yeah.
it's like a regulatory time period. If you stop taking it, then it's not going to do what it's supposed to do for you, um, and it's a trying time for both parties, for
Yeah.
you as the individual, and for your spouse, and for your children as well. It's
Yeah.
hard not to convey any kind of like feeling or emotion that you're feeling in a direct result from that. It's hard to block that out. Um, I tell you that I could barely stay awake,
Right.
and um, they hadn't re-prescribed me onto Xanax or anything like that yet. That was just like preliminary PTSD medication and anxiety medication, and it was rough. It
Yeah.
wasn't easy. Um, so, I know you said that you're taking some medications now,
Yeah.
and so, bro, real recognize real,
Yeah.
right? Like, I see you, and
Yeah.
I recognize what you're doing, and it's a blessing to be able to call you a friend, and to be
Thanks.
able to watch through this, and get my own motivation, you know,
Yeah.
because this is something everyone's dealing with.
Yeah, it's thank you for that. And it has been different. It's a different way of life. Like I said, I didn't live a reckless lifestyle, but I lived a lifestyle that I didn't care, right? I
Yeah.
drank 2 to 5 Red Bulls a day for over 23 years. And then I also
Wow.
smoked 10 joints a day, and I ate whatever I wanted, and I said whatever I wanted. And I did, I didn't take care of myself mentally and
Yeah.
physically. And I've had some people come to me also to say, hey, look, my wife or my husband has been dealing with what you've been going through. And I never understood it. And I always told them to stop acting this way, until I started hearing you talk about it. And like what you're saying, right? The spouses and the families are the ones who deal with this the most.
Yeah.
Until you figure out what type of help you need, or somebody else figures it out
Yeah.
for you. I started off with, I'm looking at my medicines right here. I started off with one medication, and now I'm taking 4 medications a day.
Yeah.
But it's only supposed to be for 9 months.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the damn thing, hopefully everything works out, and I'll be back to my old self. I don't necessarily think that I'll be uh smoking weed as much as I was at one point. And a
Yeah.
lot of that, I feel like as we get older, it's harder to deal with.
Of course.
But yeah, no, life has been different. I've been more motivated. I've been working harder, like I said a little while ago. And I've taken on some new responsibilities in this world, along with some
I see
old
that.
responsibilities. And I really am looking forward to the future, and building something that I can have a legacy for my own family. It's a legacy for myself and my family. I don't need to leave a legacy for anybody else other than that. So
Right. Man, that's it's it's awesome to watch. So let's
yeah,
our cat's next week,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're coming into town, right?
yeah. I'll be there. I'm playing golf
Fucking
on
better.
Wednesday with
Oh, you're
Ink.
playing golf?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll be playing with Ink next Wednesday.
got a
They're
spot on that?
one of the main sponsors. I think we talked about
I
that.
know. I
Yeah.
know. I was just
Yeah.
I've got to be quicker than that.
Yeah.
You got to be quicker than that.
I didn't know that I was going to be actually playing with Ink until they called me and they were like, "Hey, we have one more spot left. Would you please,
Bro,
join
I
us?"
can't find a spot on any golf team.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go alone. I'm just gonna grab a cart. I don't give a damn. I'm working. I'm literally working the tournament. So I'm gonna help out to begin with, and then there's gonna be a period of time, and people are gonna be gone, and there's gonna be nobody up at the clubhouse. So I'm gonna want to go and hit a couple rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna play by myself. Well,
Yeah.
Anyway, who cares?
No, it's all good.
I'm excited. I'm excited about Arcat. This is pretty awesome.
This will be the first time I've ever traveled with my golf clubs.
I figured you were gonna rent, bro.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and just bring my clubs with me, and why not? You only
I
live
can only
once, and
imagine going through an airport with everything. Okay, well,
yeah,
here's what. It's not everything. It's
right,
on top of everything.
right, yeah. I fly Southwest, so it'll be free. So,
Check it.
Yeah, just check it. But yeah, no, I'm hanging out with the Ink crew. If you guys don't know Ryan Holiday and Ken Lawler, or even some of the other great people that work there, like Ben Fike, they are a really great group of people who have grown a tremendous business in this industry this past year. And I'm not giving them a shout out for any other reason that they are extremely great friends, and they definitely have taken care of me.
I think their organization's pretty cool. I
Yeah,
think that what they built is a tool
yeah,
for contractors to seize, and not just contractors, double adjusters, so
yeah,
all different kinds of openings that they've created for the finance world to blend with the roofing world.
yeah,
And so, yeah, I'll give them a shout out. Big shout out to Ink. What's up?
yeah.
I
No,
thought that in their colors are tits, and their truck is even better.
Yeah.
What?
I
How
love
can,
I love that Jeep Dominator. It's an amazing thing to ride in, that's for sure. It's not like anything you ever will ride in, that's for sure. So
it's different. I gotta
yeah.
get a ride in that thing sometime. Are they bringing it down here
I'm
for
not sure
Arca?
if they're bringing it to Houston or not. I'm not sure. I didn't ask that yet. So
Well, it is a trade show. So are you going to be hanging out in the ink booth?
maybe we'll see. I'm not quite sure what the rest of the week holds just yet.
Okay.
I do wish to go to the Arcat, and I think I will be there. I need to figure out some other things though this week first, and we'll go from there. But I'm looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully, we'll get over to RSI and check in there. I know that you and I
I
have
won't
talked
be here.
about. Oh, well, maybe
Oh,
maybe
just
we'll
hit me
see each
up.
other out there.
Of course. Just yeah, we'll hit each other up. We'll figure that out. Because I've got a big shout out to West Group.
Yeah,
West Group, whenever there's events and we go to events, generally they get like an Airbnb. And so this time, Jamie's got an Airbnb downtown, about 4 minutes away from the Marriott Marquis. That way that I can help volunteer some of my time and give back to our local community by way of working that booth.
yeah,
But I'll have time to do all kinds of stuff.
yeah,
Um, so definitely open to, break away even. So yeah.
yeah,
Anyway, so RCAT golf,
yeah,
RCAT conference going to be pretty cool.
yeah,
We'll navigate that, figure that out. So what else is new? Like,
yeah.
oh, the Facebook post yesterday.
Oh,
I mean, that was wild. What,
yeah,
what, what, what? I, I'm like, I think I seen it like the beginning, and it was absolutely wild. I think everybody knows what we're talking about. Um, I keep watching things that happen online in our community, in our roofing community,
yeah,
and it absolutely astounds me that people don't understand still
yeah,
that this right here is
yeah,
one of the most powerful tools that you will ever have. And this tool right here,
yeah,
the tongue,
yeah,
is a powerful evil. It's a world of iniquity. That's what the Bible says. And your tongue can be used for two things: one, good, or
yeah.
two, evil. And there's no fucking in between.
No,
There's no fence that you're gonna ride with your tongue. It's either good or it's bad.
yeah,
And I want to see more of an elevation in the industry.
yeah,
That's why I have my podcast and do the things that I do. And I know the same on your level,
yeah,
TJ. You bring all different kinds of stuff that's positive to the industry.
yeah,
Very rarely do I see anything that I can even construe as a negative video.
yeah.
It's hard. Um, what do you
I
think about this negativity online that it seems to be like the trending topic is one negative topic after the next?
yeah.
What do you think about this?
I was I know what post you're talking about. I think everybody in this industry knows what that post was about yesterday. And I'm not going to mention the two people that were supposed to be involved in that post's name.
Yeah,
But I was sitting here last night thinking about ways to address it online. Uh, and I really couldn't come up with any way to talk about it other than like controversy and the drama. It's driving clickbait, and it's
yeah,
driving people to attack one another in ways that we've never seen it. I think I know why it's happening. I think that there was something that happened not long ago that we all know about as well,
yeah.
where people were attacking each other online, and we still don't know whether or not that's real or fake, or if it's for
Right.
clicks, or if it's for views. or if it's really serious. But I've been dealing with something I'm going to talk about right now myself. Like there have been some people that have started to try to attack me
Yeah.
of over the past couple of weeks for my new position, right? At Euroshield, and they
Oh
seem to
wow.
think that I have some sort of major power to walk into an organization and start dismissing people or making
Huh.
demands for them to leave,
Huh.
which isn't true. I actually care about my friends. I care about my family, and this 100%. And for people to construe that I would do that to my friends or to make it known out loud that I want that person gone or I want to take their territory, it's just fucking not true, and it
Yeah.
needs to stop because I have always been front, straight up with people, and I don't deserve it. Karina keeps telling me, she's like, I can't believe that people are saying what they're saying about that
Yeah.
situation because what's being said about it is absolutely fucking not true, and it's
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
The way in which that, I was just saying, the way in which that you can either edify someone or you can tear someone down.
yeah,
I feel that it's more about how someone can try and trash talk someone online because they feel, oh, I'm going to make just a point here.
yeah,
Once it goes from here
yeah,
to here,
yeah,
that it's over, and it's not. It continues to fester.
right,
And some people know that, and that's why they do it.
yeah,
And um, believe it or not, I'm glad that you talked about it. I'm dealing with some hate
yeah,
over the last week, 2 weeks actually, and it's been a very consistent thing. My brother's sitting right here, and he actually had to like explain to me because I'm like getting worked up, and I'm talking to him, and I'm like trying to figure out why this person is lashing out at me the way that they are. And it doesn't matter. There's something wrong with them on the inside, in my opinion. And this is what my brother told me too. It's like that that dude's got something wrong with him. Like there's
yeah.
something wrong with that guy. And that's why, he feels nasty on the inside, and that's why he's trying to portray it on the outside.
Not
And
everybody
so,
is a victim.
yeah. That's actually something that my media pastor that was, we come to church on Sundays and Wednesdays, and if there's an evangelist, we like to do that as well.
Yeah,
And so this is just something that, I've made here in the last 6 months a very established, consistent thing for me and my family. It's time for me to be able to shave off time to be with them. And so our media pastor, the guy that handles the video and audio, and he also plays the guitar up on the front, and he leads. Uh, he had a really good point about bullying and about how you feel on the inside being portrayed on the outside, and really what that all is about. And you know, this is more than just a battle of wit and mind and and what am I looking for? Integrity. Excuse me.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Because most of the people that are arguing like this don't have any, and that's a sorely lacking thing in our industry.
yeah,
But um, there's something that's driving this across the industry, and I'm just like, I decided not to engage.
yeah,
I just I'm not going to get in all this he said she said, this battle of who you think is right and who you think is right, and it ultimately ends up being venom spewed out uh, online, and you can't remove it.
Yeah.
There are people, and if you're watching this podcast and you've been making posts and removing them, just know I've seen it.
Everybody has.
Everyone has seen it.
Yeah.
So you're not accomplishing anything. This industry was going towards more of like a unification like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I feel in the last year, it's been more of a what the cancerous vibes, like everyone's grabbing onto cancerous vibes. It's all about the cancerous vibe and who can say what. And I'm over it. I decided to not go to any of these conferences because of that.
Yeah.
That's it. It's literally the political side of the industry. So that's why I'm going to it, because it's more political than anything. At least I know what the politicians are really thinking.
Right.
Yeah. My buddies that have been friends with me for 10 years, I don't know whether or not you're going to bash me or slash me on the next post.
Yeah. Like there are some people who feel like they are, maybe they can't say what they want to say, or if they say what they say, what they want to really say, that somebody might attack them back, and it's a true story. Like, I'm not, I don't want this hate in this industry. Like I always have told people, World's Greatest Roofer was always about making sure that the positivity is shown to the rest of the world, so people don't fucking keep thinking that we're a bunch of crooks and criminals and drug addicts and alcoholics and fire spewers and all of the bad things that we've always been. And but I don't think that it's just about roofing. I think it's about society in general, ever since politics started really catching on fire. And I think that really started, if we go all the way back to about 2008, right?
Yeah.
And it's just been, like you say, it's just a volcano that's been simmering, waiting to explode. And now here we are with people who are actually, I'm not saying that what was said yesterday wasn't true or shouldn't have been said.
Right.
But I
Absolutely.
also know that maybe we could come up with a better way to spew it.
Yeah. I'm on board with that 100%. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to endorse or exactly what you said. Like, I'm not going to say what was said wasn't right, but there definitely needs to be a different way to express it. And I feel that the drama that we've seen more yesterday was resulted around one post.
Yeah.
One. And then it just exploded from there. And if there were memes made for the way in which that the communication was done yesterday already, then it could have been done a little different. But there's also that left side that says, well, screw what everybody else thinks. I'm going to say what I say. And that's kind of, that's really the ideology, behind that. So kudos to you if that's you. I personally can't really get into it like that because I feel that my reputation and my everything that I build in my life, my Christianity to my fatherhood, my professionalism in my business, that all rides on who I am in and outside of this screen.
Yeah. Same. There have been some times in my life that I have really gone all in on saying what I feel online, and it hasn't helped me, right? It only has hurt me. And Karina says to me, like I always talk about Karina, right? Because Karina, who's the one that sees what happens the most in my life,
Yeah.
and she's like, I can't believe you can be so calm about it. And I said, well, why would I want to continue to kindle the fire when it's almost out,
You
and
do have an oddly like calm way.
yeah,
I could see how like
yeah.
I could see how Karina is like maybe like a little irritated. Like how
She's
do you how do you
Latina.
how do you just not do anything about it? Like
Right.
how are you just so calm? Like
She's like,
I
you
could
you you let people walk all over you, and I said, well, I'm not
I
letting
could
people
feel it.
walk all over me. I'm just not allowing them to, killing them with kindness and killing them with being quiet. Like, I know there's another guy that got attacked this year, and he just maintained. He told me, I was like, dude, I don't know how you not say anything, right? And he's like, it'll go away one day,
Good.
and it's not hurting me, it's helping me.
Yeah.
So keep talking about me.
Yeah.
So because as long as I don't engage, people don't get to see me as the one that's starting it. Now I will say this about the conferences and the events that are going on in this industry. you know uh we need to do some things better in this
Yeah.
industry. We need to come together as an industry to create these events instead of having the one-offs or the events that don't have any meaning,
Yeah.
who aren't really helping other people. Like, I really feel like RoofCon is going to be a great event this year. No, so don't get me wrong. I love Diego and Hunter. And
Yeah.
also the Rise event that Roofer created. Has been something that's been really needed. It's a training,
I like that event
Yeah.
personally.
But there is some other events that just need to go away. And
Yeah.
of course, I'm not the event god or the conference god, and I can strike down and say that they need to be destroyed, right? But I can say that um, that those conferences that I'm speaking about have been a sore thumb in this industry for a long time,
Bro,
and
people
they're
bring their
yeah,
kids to these,
yeah,
man.
oh yeah, yeah,
Like, uh, I can't take my wife and my kids on conferences this year, and I really
yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
because you guys don't have your shit together.
right,
And I'm afraid that I'm gonna take my wife and my kids, which look up to me as the top role model in their life. Not because I'm something big, because I'm not. I'm their father. I'm the husband.
right,
I think that more people should take that into account a little bit more. Maybe if they did, our conferences would be a little different.
yep,
If we thought my, uh, let me say it, my 8-year-old girl
yeah.
walks into your conference, can she do so without earplugs?
No, especially the one
Or
that I was
even
just at.
or even a
Yeah,
blindfold.
yeah,
Will she need a blindfold and earplugs?
yeah,
Because if so, I'm not coming. I don't. It's fluff. I don't
yeah,
need to. If I want to go to the strip club, I'll go to the strip club, but I
right.
don't, and
It
I'm not
doesn't need to be
expecting to come to the.
pre-planned.
I, right, right. It's not. Yeah, I'm not coming to do anything else but uplift myself and the community. I want
Yeah,
to learn. I want to be challenged, and I want to challenge. That's it.
yeah.
And if you can't have those three in your conference, don't even message me.
With
Don't
a
reach
with a
out to
major
me,
level of respect for every person that's
please.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt.
If your conference doesn't do that, then I'm not interested. Not today, not next year, not next month.
Right.
Um, but if you have an amazing conference, I'm interested.
Yeah,
If you're edifying, the community, I'm interested. If you're
Yeah.
trying to educate the community, I'm interested. But anything other than that, I'm not. Because see, the first conference I ever went to was like this mini conference. I met a lot of top names, and they were there training their teams. They were there learning with their teams. This
Yeah.
was an event in Austin, and I hungered like immediate when I left that little mini conference. I immediately put into practice what I learned for insurance claims and made $4,000 more on that first claim. I remember how much because that's why I started to network. That's
Right.
why I started to do these things because it helped me make more money. So, answer this question. If your ticket costs $1,700 and you go and you learn jack shit, what did it really cost you? It
Costs you
cost
a
you
lot
way
more
more
than
than
that.
$1,700.
Yeah. You know,
So,
I always remind people that a lot of these events are in areas where the hotel rooms are $1,000 for two
yep,
nights stay. Your airplane ticket is another potentially $1,000. The food
yep,
that you eat and the things that you do while you're there is another $1,000. So
yep,
really, you spent 5 grand on one person, and if you bring your team, it's possible that you spent 25, $30,000 just in the matter
yep,
of 2 or 3 days, and all you learn how to do is party a little harder.
right,
And people use it as a vacation versus using it as a stepping stone in their
yeah,
career. And the events space needs to remember that, and then also, just keep plugging away at what it is that we're trying to do in this industry, and that's make it better instead
right,
of making it worse.
yeah.
So, but that's
And
all,
I
like
like,
Forrest Gump said, that's all I got to say about that. So,
I mean, look, I
yeah,
get it, even because I'm a vendor
yeah,
this year, and so the dichotomy is completely different from
yeah,
coming to learn to come to educate is completely different.
yeah,
Um, so truly, as a vendor, I want to come to educate and come to help elevate. Like that's
yeah,
really what I'm about. Um, I I can't um, listen. I've done the whole like party mode and all that shit. Like, but as a vendor, I can get like how vendors travel across the country and how it could come like it could be just crazy.
yeah,
But um, if you're like if you're at a conference and you're like, oh man, I haven't seen my vendor for like a year. Like, let's just say, plug your CRM here, right? And you're like, hey, I want to go and hang out with these guys. Like, remember that they hang out with a lot of people in every city,
yeah.
and this is business, and we get like hanging out with your buddy, but like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is not inducent to learning what you need to learn and doing what you need to do. Neither does it do it for them.
No,
And if you want your vendor to be on top of your account, I would probably
yeah.
refrain from doing that as well. But anyhow, I'll stop beating that dead horse. Um,
When
you
I
know,
started going to conferences, about a year and a half ago or so, I started saying that I have to treat this as a job, right?
yeah,
When I go to an event or if I'm teaching at an event, I have to be in bed by my normal time, or else my day is just completely screwed up, and I'm no
yep,
good to nobody if I'm not good myself. So, and
yeah.
Karina,
There's
like
like
she
a
checks me on that
repetition
too.
that if I don't do,
Yeah,
people in my life suffer.
right.
I got to get up at 5.
Yep.
I got to go work out. I got to start a meditation, and I got to do that before I even touch Facebook.
Yeah.
Because if I get on Facebook, bro, and I see some hate, like,
Yeah.
just tell you the rest of my day is going to be a little bit nasty.
Yeah.
So what else is new?
Let's talk about Euroshield, man.
Oh
I didn't, I
yeah,
didn't,
Euro show.
I didn't get actually be on your podcast with Leslie. I think I want to
Yeah,
say this out loud. I called you after the podcast. I was watching it on the airplane. I fly, we all fly as much as we do. And so I'm watching it on the
Yeah.
airplane, and I got off the airplane and I called you. I think I was in Nashville. And great job on that
Yeah.
podcast with Leslie. We had some hate
Thank you so
there,
much.
talking about hate online. And really, respectfully, positivity came out of that post, even though it
Yeah.
started off as negative as it did. A lot of people jumped on that post to be as negative as they were, and it wasn't necessary, because what really was going on, if we could have just educated ourselves before attempting to attack the product. And again, we only believe one side of the post before hearing all sides.
Yeah.
And I might be a
It's
hypocrite when
hard.
I say that, right?
It's I feel like it's
Yeah,
a difficult thing for the mass public
yeah,
to bite their tongue while they're scrolling, because we have this Second Amendment right with
yeah,
our phones, and it's like I can say whatever I want and do whatever I want and believe whatever I want, and I'm going to
right,
tell everybody about it. And a lot of the times, like what I think should just stay there.
yeah,
I've got a bad attitude, and I have to live in a constant state of check.
yeah,
That's why I go out. I got to go work out, and I do what I do. Um, I appreciate those words of encouragement on that podcast. It was probably one of the. I'm going to be honest. I haven't gotten real nervous for a podcast
right.
in a while, and I was nervous for that
Yeah,
one.
but what was said that day
Butterflies and
needed to
everything,
be
bro.
said.
Oh yeah,
Leslie was given an opportunity to shine. She always rises to the occasion. She's one of the most respected women roofers in this industry. I think that she's one of the smartest women roofers in this industry, and she doesn't get that credit just yet. She's not on stages. People aren't offering for her to go be on a stage. But if you get an opportunity to hang out with her for just a day, you learn more about roofing than you probably will in a long time. And she's extremely
she's super
smart
smart.
when it comes to premium roofing
Yeah,
systems, not just our rubber roofing system. And when
yeah,
she approached me, like, her and I have been friends. Euroshield did sponsor me, over the past year. And before I went to work for Roofer, Euroshield was exploring the opportunity of working together with me, right? And
yeah,
so my relationship just bloomed from that friendship and that development, that I was working together with them. And I saw an opportunity, um, in August. She says, "Hey, TJ, we've had this hailstorm in May. There's a lot of opportunity in Colorado and the Pacific Northwest, for you to take on, a couple of states. We know that you're still working at Roofer, and if you could help us just grow this market, we would be forever grateful for you." Right? And I didn't take an employee role at
yeah.
Euroshield. I still am not an employee of Euroshield. I'm a contractor for Euroshield.
That's
And
cool.
I don't feel like I need to tell anybody that, but I also need to tell people that, right?
Yeah,
Respectfully, I only have one real job, or that I'm an employee at, and that's Roofer. But with Euroshield, the opportunity.
Roofer strike.
Right.
I love
The
Roofer.
the thing that people need to know is that your shield is a product that is viable, that is a lifelong product that will continue to grow at a tremendous pace, and it just needed the right push behind it, to get it going a little bit more. I'm not saying
I
that
mean, have
prior.
you guys seen the fucking hail gun?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Come on. Like, if
I've
you
actually
don't think
shot
that
it at
you're,
it.
oh, you lucky.
Yeah.
That thing is so freaking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it for me, exploring different products. I've been in the roofing
Yeah.
industry for over 11 years.
Yeah.
And before I did like roofing sales, I was an installer of Duralast.
Yeah.
Asked Duralast about uh, a little old company called Renew Roofing. They know exactly who they are and who I am. Uh, Absolutely love that product. So
Yeah.
I've been in the roofing space for quite some time, and to see a product like EuroShield blows my mind.
It's
There
about
is
time.
something out there that um,
Yeah.
they really don't have to worry about. And I actually, believe it or not, somebody called me and wanted to discuss a different material. It was a sales rep that was out in the field. A lot of sales reps know that I have a lot of knowledge on shingles and on stone coated steel and on like slate and actual wood shake. So I did a lot of wood shake back in the day. But anyhow, so I got a call and they're like, "Hey, I want to talk about this impact resistant shingle." And this homeowner, deals right there with the homeowner, and this homeowner was like asking me all these questions, and he really wanted like the nonstop, like he wanted nothing else on his roof. I said, well, that's EuroShield.
Yeah.
And so we talked about it, and uh, I said, we didn't even get to price. I just said it'd be a considerable investment.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people, I think, that have the stigma in their head, like, how can I sell something that high of a ticket and actually sell it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people want just this cheap stuff. And
Yeah.
it's what you advertise, it's what you put online, it's what you put on your Facebook, it's what you inspect a lot. That's what you're going to get a lot of. And if you have on your website shingles, you're going to get calls for shingles. If
Yeah.
you put, let's just wood shake, okay,
Yeah.
to be like neutral, you're going to get wood shake jobs.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of wood shake jobs, and you're going to get some specialty metal jobs too, because that comes with it. That's accents. But if you put the base amount, the base material that you can get a 25-year shingle on your website, which a lot of you guys have, or a 30-year, you're going to attract that. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not.
But when you're asking the question, how do I sell a $90,000 or $70,000, a $60,000 ticket? You have to elevate yourself a little bit. And I'll tell you what, EuroShield knows how to do that.
Let me say something to all of that. For hundreds of roofs that I've personally sold in this industry, 99.9% of those roofs were certainteed 30-year roofs.
Yeah.
And the reason that there were 99% certainteed roofs is because I believed in the product. And
Yeah.
that's the only thing that I sold to homeowners. When I would go and knock on their door and they'd had a hailstorm, I would say, "Oh, I love this product, Certainteed Landmark. It's my favorite product out there. And, I've never had one leak, and it's a great product. I know you'll love it too. Here's the color board." And so the homeowner would pick their colors right then and there, and they would believe in whatever I was selling them. Now, this just happened last night. I had an electrician here at my house. I had some sockets that blew in my house
Uh,
here, so I needed to get some work done. And this guy lives in my neighborhood, and I was like, "Hey, man, did you see my roof?" And he was like, "Well, yeah." And I was like, "Do you know what it's made out of?" Right? And he's like, "No." So I tell him it's made out of 95%
Recycled tires.
recycled tires.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I don't have a roofer, but I just had the insurance come to my house."
Oh,
And I was like, "Well, let me show you
that's
an
it.
actual sample." And
Yeah.
he was like, "Well, do you know a roofer that can help me get this?" And I was like, "Let me call somebody." And so
Yeah.
I called up one of my friends, and I was like, "Hey, look, this guy's got an insurance check in hand. He wants EuroShield. He didn't even ask me how much it was. He's like, I'm willing to pay out of pocket to get this roof on my house."
That's beautiful.
And people need to know that when they're if you present, like you said, if you present the Euroshield or another synthetic or what's considered a lifelong product before you present the bottom line product,
Yeah.
people want the best. They don't want whatever they just can afford. And if you can provide that value, they'll pay for it.
As a sales rep, you really need to look at the area too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's the area.
You're right. You provide it, and they'll pay for that. I feel like that also goes in like the areas in which that you're in as a sales rep. If you're, not technical difficulties here, ladies and gentlemen.
I saw that. Yeah. Yep. We're all back. So, but yeah, no, just provide that value and continue.
We're back.
Yeah. Just keep providing that value to the homeowners. And, one of the things that a lot of people have, that people are starting to talk about more often is, instead of fighting the insurance game, let's figure out how to work the retail model in a storm area, and maybe utilize financing at a percent down and a percent per month versus, here's a lump sum check. And I still offer this to homeowners and roofers. Like, why wouldn't you want to offer the opportunity for them to put cash back in their pocket today that maybe they need that $10,000 or $20,000 check that the insurance company just gave them, and they're willing to work on it as a loan over the next however long it takes them to pay it back. And it's none of your damn business, right? Let them pay that back and get a new roofing system or their house, restored, and they still get the opportunity to put the check in their pocket, which makes their lives a lot better or whole. Marquis is frozen. We're gonna start singing Frozen songs. So, but I guess I'm gonna take over RSI Roofing on the Rise podcast. But yeah, no, guys, thank you guys for watching today. It's been an incredible show. I'm so blessed to be here with Marquis. He's still over there frozen, looking like a popsicle. But thank you guys for hanging out with us today. And, thank you, West Group Public Adjusters. Thank you, Roofer, for giving me the platform that you've given me. Thank you, Euroshield, for continuing to believe in me and my reach. And I look forward to bringing that product to everybody. Here comes Marquis back again.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no, I was continuing on while I was closing out the show for you.
So, you're freaking awesome, bro. we did this entire podcast with no technical difficulties all the way up into the end, bro. I appreciate you helping out.
No, it's all good. But I was just telling people, if you want to learn more about Roofer, and our measurements, our proposals, our instant estimator, or the CRM that's in beta, getting ready to be released to full product here in the next few weeks, please reach out to me. But also, if you want to learn more about Euroshield, or you want samples in your hands, or you need brochures, or you need training on how to either sell it or install it, I want you to reach out to me, and I want the opportunity to speak to you about it. A few years ago, I've told this story before, like, you have to grow and you have to elevate yourself in your career. And if selling shingles is the only fucking thing that you want to do for the rest of your life, sell shingles.
Yeah.
But if you want to work on a higher end product that helps the environment, that helps the actual homeowner or business owner, then it's time to step it up a little bit and offer value for the long term instead of just until the next hailstorm.
Right there. That's where it's at. Euroshield, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Man, it's been an awesome live stream today.
Yeah, man.
TJ, I appreciate you coming and talking about the current issues.
Yeah.
Talking about Euroshield, talking about just the elevating your life and your conversation. This was awesome. This is exactly what I envisioned. Just
Right.
like a talk show, chilling and bringing some good education to everybody.
Yeah, man. I need a nap now. No.
I think my my brother is over here just like trying not to nod away. So
Yeah.
we're probably gonna go do some cooking. So uh,
Awesome.
I'll wrap
Well,
up this evening with RSI. You guys come and get your shingles or metal. You want tile, slate, anything. You can get it basically from me.
you
Everything.
can get your shield from him.
Oh yeah, you can get Euroshield from me. We haven't like fully released that yet, but it's at the end of this
Right.
episode if you watch
Right.
the entire thing. Also, West Group Public Adjusters and Rep Card. If you guys are looking for an amazing digital business card and an amazing claims experience, please reach out. Telephone number 210-919-8987. Again, 210-919-8987. It was an amazing time on Riffing on the Rise.